Do you want to capitalize on Pinterest trends this year so you can see massive growth for your Pinterest business account? I'm Emily Vales. I'm a Pinterest marketing and ad strategist, and today I'm going to tell you about the Pinterest trends prediction. So Pinterest has been releasing for the past few years a Pinterest trends prediction. So this report basically is Pinterest letting us know what they think are going to be the latest, hottest trends for the upcoming year. So like I mentioned, for the past 3 years, 80% of these trends have come true. So you might be wondering, how can Pinterest predict what is going to be popular, hot, or trending on the platform in the upcoming year? So Pinterest shared with us a little bit of insight as to how they're able to come up with these trend predictions. And these are not just ideas or trends that they are pulling out of air, but it's based off of data and the unique pinner behavior they have on the platform. So pinners come to the platform to plan special moments or life events. And because they are planning these moments, they're usually planning them in advance. So you can think about people coming to the platform planning something that could be 2 or 3 months away. So what this does, this unique pinner behavior, it gives Pinterest a unique insight and unique data as to what people will be interested in the future. So how you can use this for your business. What I recommend doing is taking a look at the trend predictions and thinking about how you can apply it to your business and your niche. Now, one thing to keep in mind, Pinterest is a visual search engine, so it takes time to index your content. So when you want to be capitalizing on a trend, you don't want to be pinning that content as the trend is literally peaking, but you want to start pinning that content prior to when those keywords are trending up. So it can be a little bit tricky because you might be thinking, and I've gotten this question on my social media platforms, well, Emily, how do I know when these trends are going to be trending up when they're just predictions? So there is a little bit of guesswork involved, but we are going to take a look at the trend prediction report today, and I'll give you a few pointers and some tips as to how you can figure out when these specific keywords might be trending up. Now, before we look at this report, I do want to give you one more piece of advice. These are trend predictions, so that doesn't necessarily mean they are for sure going to come true. Remember, I did say though that based off of their data, for the past 3 years, 80% of these trends have come true. And just think about, if you have this unique insight and if the trend does come true, in fact, this could be really beneficial as to planning your content and making sure that you are giving yourself the best chance for your content to be seen and to also be highly relevant. And when you have that perfect combination of making sure that you're getting the trends right and meeting your audience, that's when you can really explode traffic to your website. So we are going to go ahead and take a look now at that trend prediction. Okay, so here we are. If you want to find Pinterest predicts, you can go to business.pinterest.com/Pinterest predicts. So here we are, and as you scroll down, you'll see it says Pinterest predicts. Before you see it everywhere, see it here. So this is really cool. There's different filters, so you can filter by audience, brand values, and even categories. And as you scroll down, you are going to see some overarching themes. Within those themes, as you click on each one, you will actually also see keywords that Pinterest is predicting that are going to be trending. So here you'll see airy styles, Rust married. So they have kind of funky, cool, catchy names for these different trends. Micro makeover, pool potties, chance of showers, you can scroll through. Once again, if you go to business.pinterest.com, and then you can see /en-us. So that's where you're going to find the Pinterest trends predictions, but you can scroll through these different ones on your own. I won't go through every single one, but I just kind of wanted to give you an overview of what this report is, and then really how to utilize it for your business this year so that you can capitalize on some of these trends that they are predicting to be trending up. So for example, let's go ahead and look at pool potties. Your pup needs a pool party, invitations and all. So I did say that I was going to give you a few tips as to when these trends will most likely be trending up. So in regards to pool potties, most of the US, that's where I'm located, so that's where I'm referencing, most of the US is warm in the summer months, which would be mainly June, July, August. Now, some parts of the country will be warm in May and in September, so there's a little bit of a scale there as far as how warm the country is. So if I had to use my best guess, I would think that things that are outdoors involving water, that could be something more late spring / early summer that you're going to want to start capitalizing on these keywords, especially if you want to be one of the first to really capitalize on the trend. So when you click on it, I'm scrolling down, and as you scroll down, it kind of gives you a little bit more information. It even tells you about the audience. So we're talking party invitations, party favors, party decorations. Gen X and boomers don't plan to hold back for their next pet pool party. So as I'm scrolling, and so it says trending on Pinterest pool potties, it's going to go ahead. You can see it going from left to right, the different keywords, and you can see here too, it's giving you a percentage for each of these. So these are really, some of these are long tail keywords. It's very specific. So dog, birthday, party, ideas, decoration. Like I said, that's really a long tail keyword. That is very specific. And so it gives you at least, I believe each of these that you click on, like I said, these overarching themes, like this is dog pool parties, that it's going to give you anywhere from probably 5 to 7 different keyword ideas and ones that are going to be trending up. It gives you a little bit more information about behind the trend, act on the insight. So this is cool. And then you can, so it says, make our trends work for you. Talk to your Pinterest team about opportunities to apply Pinterest predicts to your business. To apply Pinterest predicts to your business, you can work with a Pinterest rep. Not necessarily completely necessary, but just another option. We'll go and look at one more. So let's see here. Now, some of these are probably going to, it can be a little, like I said, it can be a little bit tricky to figure out exactly when it's going to be trending up, because some of these could be more evergreen ideas. So for example, the 4th trimester, I mean, people have babies throughout the entire year. Not everybody has the luxury of planning the specific season that they are going to have their babies. With that said, I do know that when people are able to time that just right, some people might like to have a spring or a summer baby just because it's a little bit nicer outside. You can take your newborn outside. I know, speaking as a mom, I had a baby last April, and it was absolutely wonderful to have a baby in the spring. So it's one of those things that there's going to be a little bit of guesswork involved as to when that trend is going to be peaking. And keep in mind too, this is a prediction. We don't know for sure that this is going to be a trend. And it's a little bit interesting too, because postpartum care, that is something that has always been a necessity. So I had somebody comment on social media that it was sad that it was a trend. And I do understand that, but I think that this is something that maybe, whether it's a huge trend, it's something that will always have relevance. So if it pertains to your niche, definitely take into consideration these keywords and use them absolutely in your content. So once again, it gives us, let's see, 5 different options as far as keywords that are going to be trending up. Once again, a little bit more information behind the trend. So I do want to share, because I had a teacher last year with the Pinterest Predicts for 2022. There was one in particular that had to specifically do with a calming classroom. We don't necessarily see here any that are directly related to teaching. So it's one of those things that if you can in some way take the trend and adapt it to your niche, by all means, but you also don't want to be fitting your circle content into a triangle hole or a triangle size shape. I'm trying to use an analogy. But basically, you don't want to force it. So just see if there's some that you're like, hey, I could take this and adapt it to my niche, and I think it would fit pretty well, even if it's not, directly related. But in other ways, you don't want to force it where it feels kind of weird and off. So once again, it's one of those things too that could be really helpful to your business. But just keep in mind that you always first want to be inspiring your audience and serving them, and not just sharing content because you think it's going to be trending up and going to be helping your business, but putting their interests first. So I do want to show you, when you click on that, you can see there's the different audiences: boomers, and then Gen X. Then you can click off of those. And then, so when you click on that, you can see it kind of filters the different trends. And then brand values, you can filter, you can click on the different ones. Connection. Let's see, you can see how the trends are changing. So here, focused on inclusiveness, self-improvement. So based off of what values you are trying to implement with your business, you can also filter by that, which is really cool. So if you really want to focus on something that is building connection, then when you click on that, it shows you all the trends that focus on connection. So if you have, I know there's a lot of millennials in my audience. If I click on millennials, it shows me which ones are which trends are most focused with the millennial audience, which is once again really cool. And then there's also categories. So once again, take these with a grain of salt. You might not see your specific category, like right up here, I'm not seeing any that focus on education, which is probably why somebody mentioned that to me. But if there's a way that they could find another one, like maybe parenting and education could somewhat coincide, you could click on that and see if there's any. So all of these trends have to do with parenting then, I suppose. Then for pets, that I would imagine that filtered down to mainly, well, I guess there's other ones. It didn't just, I thought it might filter down to just pool potties. So anyways, you can kind of play around with that. You can read more about what Pinterest says about the Pinterest Predicts, but I do think that this is an extremely helpful tool, and it's a great way to inform your content strategy and creation coming up in the year. So I am challenging you, go check out Pinterest Predicts for 2023, see what you can take and evolve for your business and your niche. This is a really great way to plan your content and your content strategy for the upcoming year. And keep in mind that if you know specific keywords are going to be peaking at a certain point, you always want to be pinning your content in advance. Think anywhere from 45 to 60 days from when those keywords or that trend is going to be peaking, because once again, it does take time for Pinterest to index your content. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, be sure to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the new trends. They are really kind of funky, cool, and just a lot of fun. So even if you didn't see any there that you think are directly relevant, I would still love to know your thoughts on the different trends. So leave me a comment. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye for now.